Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Sunday morning. Well, like every Sunday, Governor David Paterson, one common sense Democrat, and tells the truth and, tells us common sense. Well, Governor Paterson, what do you have in mind for this Greek Easter Sunday?
Well, John, I hope that you have come down from the tremendous performance that you put on at the event on Thursday morning, which I attended as well. But as we move on, it is Thursday was the 100th day that Mayor Mamdani is in office. And the first 100 days was really supposed to just get an idea of what the new executives' priorities are and how they do different things. But it also can be very negative. And I understand that somebody came up to you a few days before and said, oh, his 100 days are up. So what was he supposed to do? Rebuild the entire transit system, knock down the Empire State Building and put another one up? I mean, it's the kind of ridiculousness that we in public office have to deal with. And if I could just make one comment about my first 100 days, I come in office on March 17th, 2008. It was sudden because the governor resigned. I didn't know half of his staff. I didn't know a whole lot of things that he had the time to prepare for. He was kind enough to talk to me on the phone during that time, but I was not in condition to have done anything except pass the budget, which I did 15 days after, but they went ahead and said that I'm a major disappointment. So what I do think, though, is Mamdani is interesting, and it kind of came up in the conversation that you had the other day, in that I hearken back to John Lindsay. He meets people very easily. He talks to people. He shows them that he's listening to them. Now, he's not always going to agree with them, and one day we might even want to throw him out, but the fact is, he's a presence. He's not one of these mayors that kind of sits in the background and you never really see him. And it's a kind of a welcome change. It's very positive. He greets children well. And that ability that he has, whatever you might call it, is something that can really take him a long way if he calms himself down and realizes that there's some of his issues that he cannot enforce. He cannot be telling the police commissioner how to run the police department because they have the strategic response group what's the best way to catch a criminal? To go to where they work, like anybody else. And so if you had, even in the tragic situation with the police officer who he threw the cooler and it wound up killing the perpetrator, he threw the cooler because the perpetrator was going 40 miles an hour into a crowd of people. And so these are the types of things that I think if he just kind of pulls back and recognizes that he's done well up to this point, and even the unions have been very gracious toward him, I think we might find that he's a little better than we thought he is. The only thing he does, John, that he needs to stop doing is something I was once accused of about 30 years ago. It's called flirting with the fringe. That means, these DSA people come around and you listen to them and they get you to come to some event and then someone writes about it in the newspaper. And I learned not to do that, and I hope he can too.
Understood. And, I pray for I pray for his success because his success and our city's success goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'm sure we've all offered to help, and it's up to him. I mean, he is the mayor. There are some checks and balances, but at the end of the day, he is the mayor.
Absolutely. And I thought you accorded him a very nice compliment at the event the other day.
Oh, thank you so much. Anything else you want to tell New Yorkers?
Well, we're now coming up on we are into the late budget process in Albany. And I think that this one could go for a while because I think that the governor, well, not the governor so much, but the legislature is entrenched on certain issues. And it's hard for her to get them to basically come to the table. I've been there. But she's tough, and she doesn't play around, when she's in charge. And I don't know, we're, about halfway through April. She might really take a while, but maybe by the first week of May, they'll get it done.
Yes, the first. I hope so, because some of the hospitals, and I spoke to Vito Fusella yesterday, some of the hospitals in Staten Island and some of the hospitals in Brooklyn are not getting paid because of the budget, and business has to go on.
Years ago, what we would do sometimes is we would take the critical issues, law enforcement, healthcare, and we would pay them even though we hadn't passed the budget. So in other words, we would now be more in the red than we were. And then, of course, once we passed the budget, we didn't have to withdraw the money because it was already there. I wonder if the legislators who are there now remember that period. It was like 30 years ago. I feel like I'm older than everybody now, John. But that
me
might
and
be
you
a way to
together, we're both older.
Exactly. But I think that might be a way. They tried it in the House and Senate in Washington, where they were thinking about going ahead. And actually, President Trump did pay some of the people that, work for the White House before their budget got passed. And I think that's something that it shows that you care. You can't just sit there and let people where money used to come in every week, now it doesn't come in anymore. That's a dangerous place to be, and you won't be very popular with your constituency.
Governor David Paterson, thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your common sense. And please push some of your Democratic friends to have more common sense. And I don't know what happened to some of them. Maybe it was the COVID vaccine.
It might have been, but I'm on it, John.
Thank you so much.
Take care.